Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Dynamics 365 Tech Talk. Today's topic is near zero downtime and proactive quality updates. My name is Heather, and I'll be your moderator today. We are broadcasting this session through Teams live events, and the audio can be heard through your device speakers. This session is being recorded on behalf of the Microsoft Corporation. When you join this event, your name, email address, and/or phone number may be viewable by other session participants in the attendee list. By joining, you're agreeing to this experience. The recording will be available on the Tech Talks Community Dynamics page within the coming weeks. If you have questions for the presenters or need support, please use the Q&A panel located on the right side of your screen. Our presenters will be responding to your questions throughout the event and in a live Q&A if there's time remaining after the presentation. Thank you for your patience during these announcements. Presenting for us today from Microsoft, we have Rashmi Mansur, Dileep Perugu, Prasad Gupta, Héctor Ruiz, and Akshat Singh. Rashmi, over to you to get us started.
Thank you, Heather. Hey, folks. Good morning. I guess it is probably morning in the part of the world where we have our current attendees. My name is Rashmi. I hope you all are doing great. I'm a senior PM on the Dataverse team and part of the team that's currently working on the zero downtime and proactive updates initiatives. I would like to welcome all of you to this Tech Talk. We plan to cover everything you need to know about near zero downtime and proactive quality updates. And we would like to thank you for your time. So we have been hearing a lot of feedback throughout this year through various channels like CAB, one-on-one conversations with customers, and Yammer about how it would be great to have all the Microsoft updates done with reduced downtime so your businesses can run without interruption. We also heard a lot of overwhelming feedback about how difficult it is to trust the current quality of some updates where specifically hot fixes where we folks feel the need to be in a testing mode constantly to get ahead of updates, which is very expensive and time consuming. To that effect, we want to bring to you near zero downtime improvements to address the issues with high impacting updates with downtimes. And we made a lot of improvements over the past year with zero downtime milestones, and we are continuing to pursue our goal of reducing downtime to a point where it's completely tolerable and easier to schedule updates for customers. We will also talk about the proactive quality updates in detail in this Tech Talk, which will primarily address how we have improved the hotfix update process for finance and operations in order to set forward a path where our updates are higher in quality and come with predictability to eventually increase trust with our customers so that they can more readily adopt current builds without feeling like they have to perform like extensive testing all the time. So that being said, I've kind of covered the agenda at a high level for this Tech Talk. So without further delay, I would like to request my colleague Hector and then Martha to take over and walk us through the reduced downtime journey. Hector?
Thank you, Rashmi. My name is Héctor Ruiz. I'm a fast track solution architect, and I will start talking with you guys about the near zero downtime. But first, we would like to look at the different scenarios where downtime actually occurs. So we have some scenarios that are planned, such as the OS updates. These updates happen monthly. There's one update per month. Then we also have some updates that are concerning infrastructure and security. We have service updates, and we also have customization changes deployed by customer. So all of these scenarios are planned downtime, and we also have an unplanned downtime, which is the outage. So I would like to show you the average downtime trends that we have seen over the last 2 years. So as you can see, we have made a really good improvement because 2 years ago on 2020, we used to have a total of yearly downtime estimated around the 3,600 minutes, which would be 2,160 minutes only for OS updates. Each update took around 180 minutes, and the rest would be an average of 8 updates through the year, which were also 180 minutes. So that will give us the total of 3,600 minutes per year. Then on last year, on 2021, we started with a pretty good improvement, where now we can see a total of 808 minutes that we were taking on downtime. This consisted on 30 minutes per OS update, which rounded to 360 minutes, and 448 minutes for the rest of the updates. And now in this year, we can see a huge improvement where we don't have any downtime for the OS updates, and we only have 120 minutes for the rest of the updates, which means that on average, we're taking 56 minutes per other updates of downtime. To talk to you more about the near zero downtime, I'm going to pass it through to my colleague Mata. Mata.
Thank you. Thanks, Héctor. Let's move to the next slide.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mata, and I'm working as a senior program manager in the Dataverse team. So today I'm going to cover the near zero downtime improvements we have done, and also talk about the priority-based scheduling. So let's get started with the near zero downtime improvements. So as Héctor mentioned in the previous slide, right, we have done a lot of improvements, and that's why we are today, like, we can do the OS updates with no downtime, and even proactive quality updates also we can do with no downtime. And quickly, I want to just talk about like how we have made this possible. So earlier we had to take the complete servers out, service it, and then put it back. So it requires a downtime. But now we are in a position where we can do the in-place update. So eventually, if you have a list of servers, then few servers will be up and running, serving your workloads, and some of the servers might be going through the servicing process. So that has really made it possible to do all the OS updates and the proactive quality updates with no downtime. Service updates also we started with close to 180 minutes of downtime. Later we and then later we reduced to 90 minutes, and now we are down to the 15 minutes. Again, we have done a lot of improvements for the service updates as well. So it has I'm like we have brought down the downtime from 180 minutes to 15 minutes. And talking about like what would be the customer experience during this servicing, all these updates are happening. So you might be seeing that environments are available during the servicing, but there could be some potential performance degradation, because as I mentioned, like we will be doing the in-place update, so there will be some servers out and going through the servicing process, and once they are ready, they will be put back, and then the other servers will be taken out, and then that is how we'll be servicing the infrastructure. So the throughout the environments will be available. And interactive sessions, let's say if customers are connected to some of the servers, and if the same server is being picked up, so they may see the blip kind of experience. So automatically the sessions will be recovered by the request will be served by the other available server during that time. And the batch jobs, if we have set the batch retry, and we do have a concept of drain, so we wait for all the in progress jobs to complete, and then take that server out for service. So we have a concept of drain. And also if there are, let's say, long running jobs, and if they are getting killed during that servicing process, so if we have set the retry, so the jobs will get automatically retried once the server is back, and after the servicing is done. And the last, not the least, so database updates are now fully performed online. So that is the other major improvement we have done. Héctor, let's go to the next slide. And priority-based scheduling, this has absolutely helped to improve the near zero downtime experience. As I mentioned in my previous slide, right, we have started doing the in-place OS updates and the other updates. So PBS basically helps to break that coupling of batch servers with the batch groups. So earlier, let's say if you have a batch groups, and they are tightly coupled with the batch server. So if we take those servers out, then whatever the batch jobs are associated with that batch servers, they have to wait for that server to come up, and then only those jobs can be executed. So now with this PBS breaking this decoupling, any of your batch jobs can be served by any of the batch servers are available during that time. So that coupling is now broken. So that has really helped to that will really help to improve the your experience during all the servicing. So one quick number, like 85% of customers have enabled the PBS, and now they are experiencing the benefit of that feature. And as I mentioned, like PBS, this really helps to get the improved experience while doing any OS updates or the service updates. And we have done the deep dive on the previous topic on like the tech talk session sometime in summer, so we can share this link, and feel free to go through that for more details. And call to action, I would highly recommend to turn on this PBS. This is going to really help you to see the near downtime experience, whatever the servicings are performed. And if your jobs are not set as retriable, we highly recommend to set that, so that way if due to any reason if the jobs are failed, they are getting automatically retried after servers are back from the servicing. And one common questions are what I used to get from most of the forums, like earlier we were only having three time zones, different time zones when the updates were happening. Now we have made geo-friendly dark hour window for each geos, so that way we can anticipate like low traffic or low volume during that time. That time the servicings will be all these updates, what I mentioned like OS updates, quality updates, they will be performed during the dark hour window, and those dark mode windows we have already published in our public documentation. So we highly recommend to see those dark mode windows, and during those time windows all the updates will be happening. And that's all from my side, and I will hand over to my colleague Rashmi to cover the proactive quality updates.
Thank you, Mata. Okay, so I spoke a little bit about the hotfix or quality update process and the challenges with the quality and trust in our update process during the agenda. So in this slide, I want to talk about the shortcomings we have with the hotfix process for finance and operations. So we do acknowledge today that there is low trust in the quality of updates in general because they don't really go through any rigorous testing before an update is available on LCS for customers so that they can apply it to their environments. And we see a lot of regressions today, and regressions are our worst enemy. And what happens is we earn trust slowly over months of clean execution, and we lose it instantly with any kind of major regressions. So we have observed over a period of time that hotfixes aren't necessarily applied consistently. So they're not really well exercised, and they lead to lower confidence in quality. And the second challenge is we still see far too many issues with customer validations of version updates in production, and like life site incidents where an issue is already solved in an available version. And we have seen in particular that the hotfix updates are too many, right, and not really predictable. So the biggest issue here is the variability of deployed versions. Basically, what I mean is like almost daily we produce hotfix updates that introduce a huge amount of variability, and they're not really very predictable. We also have the problem of downtime. So Mata covered a little bit about the downtime improvements for proactive quality updates, but then like one of the challenges we see today with the manual hotfix updates is that it takes a significant, like any kind of manual update, hotfix update takes a significant amount of downtime of nearly 50 minutes. and there is no, so today we really don't have any plan to apply or bring about zero downtime improvements for such one-off updates. Hector, can we go to the next slide? So proactive quality updates, and how do we address all the challenges I just spoke about with our hotfix processes, right? Before jumping into the why or the benefits of proactive quality updates, I would like to take a minute to really drive home the point that proactive updates are much smaller. So these are really small sets of payloads with with critical fixes that are deemed necessary for customers to ensure their businesses run smoothly. And the reason why these updates are kind of top-notch or much better as compared to our current model of the manual hot fixes is because, number one, these quality update builds are 100% automated, and critical fixes are cherry-picked after every service update general availability. And they go through extensive testing process for about 2 weeks before they even make it to LCS or even an early adopter, right? So this is vastly different from a hotfix update today, which doesn't really go through any best practices or testing between the time the fix is identified, the fix is complete and released to LCS for customers to apply to their environment, right? So today we follow safe deployment practices for proactive updates. And what is SDP or safe deployment practice, right? So the general idea with SDP is that a given release should be first exposed only to a small group of users with the highest tolerance for risk. Then if the release works as expected, it can be exposed to a broader group of users. So if there are no problems that are found with the build or the payload, then the process can continue out through broader groups of users or stations, which are groups of geographies. Like this, then this can continue until there is another new release, right? So this deployment model essentially balances the risks associated with a new deployment with the benefits of the updates it promises. It also helps to stop the deployment whenever major issues are identified. So it's a very controlled exposure to customers. Another point is that proactive quality update payloads, like I said, were very small and concise, and they only consist of extremely, critical fixes. So the bar here is really, really high in terms of what can go into such a payload because we want to keep it limited to bug fixes, and no other features or any other impacting changes are really entertained. We also heard feedback about the need for better predictability, and you will soon have it in the form of a full proactive quality update calendar, essentially the schedule for all sandboxes and production for 2023. And this should help customers plan ahead of time instead of a few days or a week's notice. But at the same time, we will also continue to deliver communication in the form of message center and email before proactive quality update trains start for sandboxes or production. We've also spoken about zero downtime. So proactive quality updates are fully online. They are 100% online, so you can enjoy minimal or no disruption when these updates are happening. So the summary really here is that we want to address the cases where customer innovation suffers and businesses hurt based on an issue where the resolution is already deployed elsewhere, right? And enabling customers to leverage new capabilities more quickly are the most significant benefits we want to deliver with these automated updates. We are trying to achieve that with more control points and a better sign-off process, a better testing process, which will enable us to move the needle with customers when it comes to raising the bar with these updates and keeping the quality consistently high and regressions low to pretty much non-existent. The major takeaway here is that we really don't want customers to be in a position to take and test a service update month over month. However, without having a proper release vehicle like proactive quality update, we become very dependent on multiple cycles of complex releases to deliver fixes and features. So PQU really acts as a pressure release valve for essential code patches with the future promise of reducing the major updates to just a couple updates in a year versus like 7 or 8 large releases, right? So this takes us, the PQU takes us very, very close to that North Star goal. With that, I would like to now transition over to Akshat, who is going to talk about key highlights for PQU and how you can, how folks can understand what goes into a PQU payload in every update train. Akshat?
Thank you, Rashmi. Hi, my name is Akshat Singh. I work as an R&D solution architect in the Fast Track team. So yeah, thank you folks for joining the session. So the next topic is what we need to know in proactive quality update process. So I'll highlight some of the key points based on what we have available on our fact documentation, what feedback we have received from our customers and partners via different channels. So the first point is proactive quality updates are rolled out on monthly basis. So if you are on service update 10.029 or 10.030, we'll roll out proactive quality update only for that version on a monthly basis. Next point is proactive quality updates are applied to environments which are serviceable. So what do we mean by serviceable? So in current context, if you are on latest version or 2 versions behind the current one, you are still able to uptake any hot fixes from your environment details page. But as soon as the version becomes end of service or unserviceable, then quality updates are not available. So you can only update to the next latest version. So we are targeting proactive quality updates only to those environments which are serviceable at the moment when we are releasing the train for proactive quality updates. My next point is, which is kind of concern for most partner and customers, and we have received a lot of escalations in the past. This is because some of the environments were on 10.029, and then we have communicated that we are going to release a train for 10.030. And that created some confusion, but be rest assured that proactive quality update will never update an environment in terms of service update. So as Rashmi mentioned, these are smaller targeted bug fixes which will be applied to your environment, and it will not increment the service update at any point in time. Moving on, proactive quality updates cannot be cancelled or postponed. And the reason for this is if we apply proactive quality updates for some of the selected environment, that defeats the whole purpose of us wanting our customers to run always on latest and greatest build. And also doing these updates on selected environments is not scalable as well, considering the North Star Rashmi has already shared. So we always want that your environment should contain all the critical fixes, whether it's security related, performance related, because what we have seen in the past, there are issues reported by all of our customers and partners which are already fixed in a quality update. And the general trend we have seen is service updates are being taken, but proactive quality updates or quality updates were not being taken unless you hit a roadblock or an issue. So, and that's not where we want to be. So bug fixes are released because multiple customers are affected by those bugs, and we want all our customers to take those fixes so that you do not hit into those issues. Moving on, so proactive quality updates will always be installed in a region specific planned maintenance window. So as mentioned earlier, so it's not that we are releasing proactive quality updates on all environments at one go, but there's a process behind it. And on our side, we call it safe deployment process, where once we decide or test that okay, this is a payload which has been tested enough from our side, validated that it doesn't break anything, then it again goes to lot of internal environments and trial environments before we move it region by region onto customer environment. So that's why these updates are very reliable in nature and validated from our side. And next is about the planned maintenance window. So yeah, you have a 3 days window which we communicate in advance, where the environments will be updated, and also these will be updated during dark hours of each and every region. And one point I want to specify here, because we get a lot of questions that yes, my environment domain Azure region is US, but my business operates 24 into 7 in different regions. So I want to make sure that although we apply these during dark hours, that doesn't mean that it will halt the business on other regions, because as we said, this proactive quality update also follows near zero downtime framework. So the services will be online with reduced capacity. So moving on, I already touched based about the next point, which is quality updates are engineered to have a low risk of issues and regression. That's because it has been thoroughly tested by our internal teams, and also being validated on internal environments before reaching out to customers. And also we have taken a major approach in past few months to really increase the quality of hot fixes we deliver, and also we make sure that those bug fixes are very targeted based on customers feedback, and there's no new feature which will be pushing in a quality update until unless it is extremely necessary. And that too, we are making sure, if at all any new feature comes in, that's always guarded behind a flight or feature, so customers are not impacted when we push quality updates. Now moving ahead about notifications. So because this is a new process, and we are still improving it day by day based on your feedback. So currently we are trying to over communicate, and that's where we are sending emails to you when we are onboarding any environment, or your environment is due for update, or we are starting a new release train for new service update. And once your environments are onboarded, we have also put LCS banner on those environments with all the important links, and these notifications are also pushed to Microsoft 365 Message Center. So we are trying to cover as much as possible in terms of notifying our customers and partners earlier before pushing these updates. So Hector, next slide. Okay, so a few other key points are, so proactive quality updates are only meant to be applied on tier 2 and above sandbox and production environments. So we are not going to apply any of these fixes on your cloud hosted environments, and also on-premises LBD environments are exempted from these updates. But yeah, having said that, it's always recommended to keep your dev environments in line with your sandboxes or production. So these proactive quality updates will be there on the LCS asset library software deployable packages. So as soon as they get applied to one of your sandboxes, it is recommended to apply the same on your cloud hosted environments as well, and that will be manual process for you. Now, moving ahead, we have some scenarios where these updates can be skipped or rescheduled. So before we go into those scenarios, let me explain what do we mean by rescheduling or skipping these updates. So as I said, we have a 3 days window for applying these quality updates. So if we reschedule these updates, that means that my proactive quality update will be rescheduled during any of those 3 days. So if we miss it on the first day, it will still apply on second or third day. Skipping means if we skip that quality update, it means it will not be part of that train and it will be part of next schedule, which we keep on publishing on our documentation. So there are two scenarios where these updates can be skipped. First is if there is already a service update scheduled within a week on a target environment, we skip proactive quality updates. So service updates always take priority. Next is if we see that your target environment is on the build same as the proactive quality update or higher, then in that case also we skip these proactive quality updates. And one common scenario can be that we sent an email this week to your environment that okay, we'll be applying proactive quality update next week, or we specify a window to you, but by that time you already found a bug where you want to take quality updates and do not want to wait for proactive quality updates uh, pushed by us. So you can still update your environments to get rid of or mitigate that particular bug. So once we will apply proactive quality updates, since your environment has already all the quality updates, we will skip in that case. And having said that, this point, so yeah, definitely if there is a bug which needs to go into environment quickly, then yeah, you can apply them manually. But if not, we recommend to take these proactive quality updates pushed by us, because these are validated from our side, and also these went through safe deployment process, so they are much more reliable than uptaking the full list of quality updates. Now, next point is reschedule. So if there is a pre-scheduled action like point in time restore happening on the target environment, then in those scenarios we reschedule. So we'll not do it during the time that schedule action is going on, but then within those 3 days window, we can pick another day and time of dark hours to push those updates. Okay. Hector, can you go back to the slide, please? So there are few other points which I would like to go through based on our session 1 Q&A, and we couldn't answer those questions because of less time. So one common question we get from the audience is there a way to designate a sandbox which aligns with the production? So no, there's no way to designate a sandbox, and there's no plan also to provide this feature, simply because as we have said multiple times, proactive quality updates are very smaller and reliable fixes released from our side, and we do want these fixes to be part of your environments because we want you to run on latest and greatest versions. And because we have started this journey very slowly, and it's already been couple of months where we have covered a lot of sandboxes, and we have a good data where those proactive quality updates has moved on to productions without any regressions or P1s reported back to us. So yes, there is no plan to designate a sandbox, and also if PQU is applied to sandbox and on top of it you have any customization or anything which needs to go to production, so PQU will go along onto production, and that's pretty much fine, because as we said, proactive quality updates are just fixes, no net new features. Next question is about ISVs, like how do we make sure that ISVs are not broken? So yeah, this is one of the common question, and the answer to that is it works in the same way how service update works. So we do not own the code of ISVs, but from our side, what we make sure that for those bug fixes, they are very targeted about a specific issue. There's no major code changes or method changes which can break ISVs or your own customizations. And as I said, this is also backed by the data we have collected so far in last couple of months. So there's no regression or no bugs which has been reported of a breaking ISV or breaking customization so far. Having said that, we do understand that this might you might be having some concerns around this. So the best way or the recommended way is we can early onboard you to this PQU journey before we start a train. So if at all you want to test early those PQUs, please reach out to us via support, and we'll make sure that before we release a train for proactive quality update, we can apply these updates to some of the designated environments where you can test your customizations or ISVs in advance. Okay, Hector, next slide. Yeah, now in the next section, we'll talk about how to identify a list of fixes in proactive quality updates. So it's a bit of a manual process where we have made some improvements, but yeah, there will be more improvements in the future, and we are trying our best to make it as scalable as possible. So first is once we apply a proactive quality update, we put the payload or the package, you may call it, in the LCS asset library software deployable packages. So in this screenshot, you can see one of the package we applied for 10.029, and it is called proactive quality update, followed by the service update version. So you can deploy this onto your cloud hosted environments once it is applied to one of your sandboxes or production. And this also shows you the application application version. Now, how to identify what are the list of fixes which goes into a proactive quality update, so that if you want to test the application before moving it on to production, or maybe even the sandbox you want to test, you can do the targeted testing by identifying those fixes. So how do we do that? So we have a release schedule published in advance onto our external documentation, where with each service update or each train, we do publish the app version for that proactive quality update. So in this case, for example, we have published for 10.030, the app version is 10.0.1362.77. So with the service update, so first three numerics will be constant, but the last one, 0.77, that keeps on changing based on what fixes we release for that service update. So in this example, it's 0.77. Then you can go to your target environment and LCS page and check in the available update section what's the current application version for your environment. And in this case, the example which I'm showing, it was 0.27. So my proactive quality update version is definitely higher than this particular update. So it means we'll push the updates on this environment. Now the next step is how to identify what goes between 0.27 and 0.77. So moving on. So you can click on view update, and then it shows you list of all the hot fixes, and you can choose to save the entire package. And then you can select all from the next screen, and you can export these updates to a CSV file. Now the change we have made, and this is earlier there was no build version when build version available when you export it to CSV. Now with the changes we have introduced, when you export it, you will have a column called build version which you can short. And then as per this example, if you see, we were going to apply 0.77 update to your environment. So you can take all the fixes which are on 7.7 or below that version. So that's the payload which will be applied to your environments, and those will be the fixes for which, if you want, you can plan a targeted testing around that, and you can leave rest of the fixes. So as of today, if you apply a quality update, it contains a big list of fixes released till date, but proactive quality updates are a smaller subset of those fixes, which are again tested and validated by us. Okay. And yeah, one important point is, yeah, this export to CSV thing, or identifying list of fixes, that must happen before an environment is updated, because as soon as this is updated, you lose these fixes. So LCS view update only shows the fixes which are not part of your environment. So if in case environment is already updated and you did not get chance, then this list is constant for all the environments, so you can pick it up from any other environment which has not got proactive quality update, or an environment where you haven't applied quality update on your own. So you can take it from any of the environment. So with that, I will again pass it on to Rashmi to talk about some data, some progress, and the roadmap of proactive quality update.
Thank you, Akshat. Héctor, can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, so in my various conversations with customers and partners and other folks, I've one of the most asked questions has been, hey, how's the data looking for quality updates, right? What are the key metrics? How are we making sure that we are kind of data driven? So I would like to say that we, at this point, for proactive quality updates, we are extremely evidence based or evidence driven, so to speak. The key highlight with metrics I want to share is we have already onboarded more than 80% customers to various proactive quality update trains based on their service update versions. And the most important update here is that we've not really seen any P0 or P1 regressions for over 75% of those sandboxes. And I do agree that when folks make comments saying that, hey, but at the end of the day, it's sandboxes, right? So the real meat is production, and I totally agree. But then if you look at the data, so at this point, actually 25% of production environments are already running proactive quality updates, because these proactive quality updates could be promoted as part of changes to a production environment, right? So even with that, we still continue to see zero P0 or P1 regression, so no major regressions at all up until this point. Or anything known, so to speak. So this data has been collected over a period of the past 3 months, and so far it's very, very encouraging. Can we go to the next slide, Héctor? Yeah. So the roadmap. So this kind of brings us to our last slide. So this is the roadmap that we are envisioning for proactive quality update over a period of the next 6 to 7 months. We believe we are in a favorable situation at this point to start production onboarding, and the onboarding will start January 21st. And based on our metrics and the data from the past 3 months, this has been a decision. So we pretty much waited up until December to take that decision on when we could technically start the production onboarding in a safe manner. So this onboarding will again be very slow and steady with the monitoring systems in place. We will again use the evidence-based approach. We will keep looking at data, and we will keep fine-tuning our decisions. We will keep listening to all the feedback, especially since it's production onboarding that we are talking about. So that's how we will make our decision in terms of how to dial up onboarding. And we will target the LCS projects where onboarding is already complete or ongoing for sandboxes. Again, the full schedule for calendar year 2023 for proactive quality update trains for all of sandboxes in production that will be getting proactive quality updates next year will be available in the next couple days on the external documentation. With that, we are now at the end of this Tech Talk. So thank you again for your time and patience, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have posted a link to a short survey in the Q&A panel. We would love your feedback on today's session and to hear what you'd like to see in future events. Thank you for your participation. As a reminder, the recording of today's session will be available on the Tech Talks Community Dynamics page within the coming weeks. I'd like to extend a big thank you to our presenters and our audience for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are.